And welcome back to Mega Man 3, where we are taking on the remaining Doc Robot stages. And we'll go with Shadow Man next. And Shadow Man stage is going to be a lot tougher this go around because of a lot more instant death hazards. And let's see, playing these stages was always something that gave me all kinds of fits when I was little. But I also enjoyed them because, you know, they were a lot different. I kind of feel that the difficulty in this game is kind of schizophrenic in that sense, where you have one set of stages that are too easy, and then one set of stages that are way too hard, and then it's never really consistent at times. But I mean, if you guys have any thoughts, feel free to comment. And I think I mentioned in a previous part that the Shadow Blade shoots in all 8 directions when really it only shoots up or down. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use Magnet Missile on these things. No, because I can. And let's see, this part gets a little trickier because it's over a pit. Alrighty, just one more to go. And fortunately, outside of the whole being in the dark thing, it really isn't that tough. But the whole darkness thing can really throw you off. So let's just take care of these guys. I want to get my magnets back. And what I'm going to do for this first one is get Rush Jet up. And you'll see why when we get there. Because we are facing off against Woodman's Doc Robot Incarnation. And the reason I'm using Rush Jet is, in the previous part I mentioned that his hitbox was a little bit bigger. And what that is going to do is that's going to cause a lot more problems for me. Because jumping over this thing is a lot tougher. And you see how much damage that did. I mean, that did a ton. And I somehow end up surviving. So at least, you know, that was working for me. And fortunately, they are generous enough to give you a health upgrade, or a health boost. So at least that's good. And fortunately, these Hammer Joes aren't too tough except when you screw up your slide. But, see, the Hammer Joes just like to intimidate you with narrow space. And these parachuting guys over spikes. Not really sure why the spikes are there, maybe just for aesthetics. But there are a lot more spikes in this stage than there are in most other stages. No, no, no. Okay, good. Yeah, kinda worried about falling here. Which is one reason why I'm trying to cheese this with a Shadow Blade. Let's just wait for you. Okay, that was terribly done. And let's just do this again. Yeah, I'm trying to pick these guys off as they show up because I really don't feel like getting knocked into pits. And as I mentioned before, the checkpoints in this area is so sporadic that you don't really know what or where you're gonna end up. Actually, from what I understand, if you don't get to the boss, you end up right at the last boss. Which is always something that makes these Doc Robot stages such a pain. But we are here at Zippo Man, and it's basically gonna fight the same way. I'm just gonna try and hit him quickly. And he does seem to come out a lot quicker. Or maybe that's just the slowdown that happens in this game. Alright, I'm gonna get hit here. Now, why didn't you shoot him? Okay, thank you. That's just the problem with the slowdown. And I mean, I don't really think it's my emulator, I think it's the game. But, that's just something that happens when you're playing an old NES game. So with all that done, we are up to the final Doc Robot stage, and it's going to be Gemini Man stage. And see, Gemini Man stage starts off pretty similarly to the way it did before. And let's see, I just want to cheese this part with magnet missiles. And the reason for that is, just like the first stage, there are going to be a lot more pits. And it's something you do have to be aware of while you're playing this. And what I've enjoyed about doing these Mega Man games is that you have obviously a lot of people who played Mega Man games, and you know, you get to hear more perspectives on this game, as well as other people's experiences with the games. Let's see, I'm gonna run out of magnets soon if I'm not careful. That's one problem with the magnet missiles, is that the energy runs out really fast. So yeah, I'm already out of magnets. And let's just keep going here. Okay, just kinda worried about where this is going. And fortunately the rest of the stage is actually pretty easy. And now once again I try to make that and I end up missing it. Oh, that's just something that happens in this game. So what I'm trying to do here is just get a path going so that I can get to that mystery box. Okay, let's just get stuck here. And let's try this again. Let's see, I don't really think there's any way for me to get up here, is there? Nope. Now, well, let's just get out of here then. And this is one place where you can be creative with your platforming as well as your the way you shoot these eggs. Because if you do this right, you actually don't need to use rush in order to get up there. And see, I know this was actually highlighted in now, dang it, I didn't need to do that. It was actually highlighted in this one Nintendo Power I had about Mega Man 3. And you know, that was actually before I was subscribed, but you know, one thing they mentioned was, besides using powers outside of battle, or outside of boss fights, you can actually do other stuff like be creative with the eggs, and just make sure you get across properly. Well, with that, we are here at our first Doc Robot stage, our boss for this stage, and it's gonna be Flash Man. And let's see, fights pretty much the same way. His weakness is the needle, and the stupid hitbox strikes again. And I can't jump over him when I want to. Alright, well now that we're done with that, let's just get going here. And see, I am gonna spend some time farming for energy with these guys, so I'll just see you when I'm done. So after the game gave me 2 health power-ups and 3 minutes of farming, screw it, I'm just gonna keep going. And let's see, in this Rush Marine section there's a lot of jumping out of things, or just jumping out of the water, which you can do with the Rush Marine, but it's really not that practical. Especially when you have to jump over a lot of stuff. And now that that's done, let's see, all I'm gonna do is just wait for these guys, and then pick them off. And now you give me a health power-up. Well, at least I can welcome that. And I'm just gonna do this the easy way, with the Shadow Blade. Okay, that was actually a lot closer than that needed to be. And frickin' gave one back. Okay, well at least I got that back. Let's see, this part is just gonna be some creative dashing by these bugs. Well, either way, that wasn't too bad. So now that we're here at our final boss, this one is gonna be Bubble Man by default. And let's see, the spikes are back, as well as his pattern remains the same. And really all it is just whenever you shoot, he is gonna fire at you. And also the shots changed, which is one thing I noticed. But his weakness is the Spark Shot or the Shadow Blade, but he's pretty easy to deal with. So with that, we are done with all the Doc Robot stages, but we still have one little confrontation left with this mysterious stranger. Even though he really is Proto Man, I'm not sure why the game called him Breakman. But, I don't know. Anyway, the strategy's the same, and the way to beat him's the same. And now for some plot. Yeah, pretty much what those Doc Robot stages were for were to divert Mega Man while Dr. Wily could run off with their peacekeeping robot Gamma. So now I get to see Dr. Wily in his glory again. And with his trademark eyebrows too. And it turns out we got a whole nother set of stages to deal with. There's a new Skull Castle. And also some new stages. So with that, join me next time as we take out Dr. Wily. I will see you then.